is about your belief. The thing is, they said, sometimes we go too much in our heads. Yeah, and this is the thing, it's the connection. The more that we connect, if you can do it daily, it just takes 10 minutes. Closing your eyes and just being still in this space. And let's begin. Okay, so welcome. They said, I love this. So the teachers are walking in, they're coming in, and they've been sitting with me in meditation. I've been sitting in meditation for some time. I didn't know why they wanted to start later today, but they did. But okay, so they've been sitting in meditation, and they said about shuffling cards, and one of the cards they brought up for humanity, not just for the group right now, but for humanity. They said what's going to be very important at the moment is going to be about belief. Believing in yourself, believing in the energy, and keeping yourself thank you connected to the energy. So very important at the moment. Believe in yourself, believe in the energy, believe in your own force, believe in your connection. Okay, thank you. And connection is going to be really important as you move forward. So we're January 2025, so we've still got the residue of 2024 energy. We are moving out of that that energy of 2024. I know we are in January 2025, but this first quarter still feels a little bit sticky. There's a lot of, a lot of interaction with different planets. There's lots of energy storms. There's a lot going on at the moment. That's as there always is as such. But a lot of you who are listening to this are very intuitive, very aware of your psychic self, and so you're going to be picking up the energy. You might find it difficult, to sleep, to think. You might find yourself a little bit jittery, feeling you've got caffeine running through your body, or you might be the other extreme where your body shuts down and goes, oh no, I've had enough of this, and you go inside yourself and just want to sleep as much as you can. So as we move through January, February, March, when we go into the spring, that's the true new year, they sort of said. When you go into the spring, the energy shifts again and it changes. So this is the time of year, wherever you are on your planet, that you can hear this. It feels like it is a time of the year that it's about conserving your energy, so to go inwards. So it's about conserving your energy, just to clear things out gently, just whatever's not serving you. Okay, thank you. They said there's a lot of thank you, like clutter. There's a lot of clutter in some of your minds. They're tuning into those who are listening right now, and who will go on to listen, of course, because we know how dimensions and time and space works. There's no such thing really as past, present and future. It's all one. It's intermingling and interwoven. So those who will go on to listen to this later, it's the same thing for you as well. Thank you, because they can already hear you looking at this in the future, as in your future selves, or as in the future of those who are listening to this. But it's all the same thing. They sort of said you've got to see it as a interweaving woven carpet, or tapestry. Thank you, tapestry of life. Thank you very much. They just said, okay, fine. So it's important that this moment in time that you feel that you are conserving some of your energy. Okay, thank you. Now, this is important, they said. You have many devices on your planet, and the devices, as in, we see the phones, we see your computers, we are aware that those who are listening into conversations, we're aware of this, and this is very much like the universe is listening into the conversation in your head, in your body. So whatever you are thinking about topics or thinking about, then you are manifesting these very naturally and very beautifully. But some of those who are manifesting are not wanting something to happen, and you're giving that as much energy as you are, as in you want something to happen. So it's about being mindful of your energy right now, about mindful of your thought processes right now. Your thoughts are creating more of. So the last thing is that you want to think, oh, I don't want a large tax bill, because lo and behold, you're creating a large tax bill, because the energy of the universe cannot tell the difference from those sort of words. It's more about the emotions. So thank you. So your control tower, which is your mind, and yes, your mind understands those words in a sense, and the words that you're processing and the thought processes, but there are energies connected to some of those words. So somebody will think very differently. If someone said spider to somebody, they might like spiders. Somebody else says spiders, they hate spiders. So it's about what that word means to you, or about the thoughts that's going on in your mind. So be mindful. It's very similar, as in some of you are thinking about buying cars, or looking at doing DIY on the house and building projects, or you want something new. Next minute you're listening listening device, as in your phone or TV, computers, whatever, is picking up on that, and next minute you have an advert on there. So those who look at social media will see that, oh, lo and behold, there's a sponsor or there's an advert or something that you've been thinking that you wanted to get. This is exactly how the universe works as well. So whatever you are thinking in your head, they just said, some of you find it hard to think this is true, but how comes then your listening devices, as in your telephones, your mobiles, your laptops, your computers, your TVs, your other devices are listening into it? It's the same. The universe is listening into it. And it's funny how some of you say, hey Siri or Alexa. It's interesting. It's the same thing as hey universe. You have to see it the same way. It's the same way. So it's about looking at where your thoughts are, what you are thinking, because you are sending out that energy to others around you, and you are sending the energy, you're transmitting this energy around you. So be mindful. Okay, thank you. And we're not saying that not to think. What we are saying is that from your human experience, your sensory beings, you are using all your senses, your taste, your hearing, your smelling, and so forth, of experiencing your life. Interesting. You're experiencing your life. You're going to have those experiences come in. It's not for you to avoid those experiences. It's to understand that you are having the repeating soul lessons. So not just the repeating soul lessons of this lifetime, as in there are patterns of behavior that you are, all of you who are hearing this are still repetitively repeating them. You've also brought a lot of those repeating patterns from experiences from past lives. So there will be a lot of the past lives at the moment that will be coming up, of the experiences that you experienced then is rolling over into this lifetime. You're going to be unfolding, unpicking. Some of you will be aware of those past lives. Some of you are going to be activating those past lives in your dream work, and some of you might feel that your dream work is quite realistic at this moment because they are being shown to you in your dream work. Thank you. Some of the meditations that some of you are having, some of you are moving in and out of different dimensions as well. Especially to the individuals that are listening to this right now, we are seeing your meditation of the expansion of yourself and how far you've traveled out, which is good, because then you are not just looking at life as the 3D life that your physical form is experiencing right now. But there is something to bear in mind. If you feel that there is this adverse reaction to an experience, you are being emotionally hijacked by an experience. Now, your best friend should be your journal right now, because the experience should be written and placed into your journal, as in your journal, you're having the conversation with your higher self. And if you invite your guides will be there operating and helping you also. With the journal, the information is written down, the emotions that come up and the feeling that you get from writing this down in your journal. And we are not suggesting doing this on your phone and using a mechanical device. It works differently. But by writing old-fashionedly with pen and paper, that your higher self is tuning into you, is becoming aware of the issue that is arisen inside of you, that is telling you there is something that's still coming up for you, how you are feeling these emotions. Now, the emotions may not just be, you follow them back, that it's not just in this lifetime. It may be that it's still repeating in this lifetime, and if it's repeating in this lifetime constantly, your soul had experienced it in previous lifetimes. So you are being given the opportunity in this lifetime to have those experiences again, for you to look at, to release yourself, to grow from the experience, to take you forward in this lifetime. So many of you who are becoming more psychically in tune, more aware of your intuition, that gut feeling when something doesn't feel right. More of you who are working with energy, more of you who are investigating energy. You are more likely to be feeling this than anyone else on the planet. This is a sign. Because it is time that your soul is really awoken to the fact that is in this lifetime is to clear whatever it is that you have repeated from a past lifetime. So if you have something that is coming up constantly, it is a repeating pattern also from a past lifetime. And some of you will have the most annoying family members or friends around you at this particular time to nudge you into growth, to help you to expand. And the more annoying and frustrating they are, is that it's saying that it is time for you to uncover, unpick what it is you need to learn. It's not to erase that individual from your life. It is more that, or delete, it is more that is your soul teacher. That is the lesson in this lifetime that you are to unpick and to unfold. It is showing something about yourself. There will be more of that. What great fun that is, you say. There will be more of that this first quarter of 2025. March, April is spring. It's a different energy. It's a new year then, working with nature. So this moment in time when we are in January 2025, you may be experiencing some difficulties. There may be that shifting out of friendship groups. It may be that the friends that you may have had for some time, they are shifting, and that you may be losing those particular friends just because they may not be at the same place as yourself right now. It may be they are not doing the same work or similar work, energy work on expanding themselves and evolving. And at times it may feel quite lonely, and it is to find your community where you feel that you fit in. It's not about not fitting in now. When we come to the end of this quarter, it is that you will be, instead of being the backseat driver and saying, I want this, I want that, or take that turning, or whatever it is, you're going to be the driver. So this first quarter of this year is about you looking at yourself. It's about the time to come in, like that hibernation period. It's a time to come in, to filter, to go through what is coming to the surface right now, so that it can be cleared. So then as you move in later, as we come to March, April, you move very fast in the direction you want to move into. So this is the year, this is the time for the foundations to go in right now. And it is that for you to be aware that Mother Earth, the universe, the energy is shifting at fast pace, and Mother Earth, your planet, is going to communicate how unhappy she is. So you will be observing the extremes with the weather elements. You will be experiencing energy is going to be shifting at a fast pace. It is if that the energy of the distrust, the abandonment that you have done to your planet, it feels like nature now is going to take control. There will be more floods on your planet also, and we are aware that there are more fires at this moment in time on certain parts of your planet, and we are hearing that they would wish for a flood of water, a deluge of rainwater. The energy of nature is speaking now. There is no point in feeling that this is going to go away. You all have to learn to live in harmony. Otherwise, there will be great self-destruction on your planet. This is created by yourselves. Your planet has not abandoned you. It is the other way, that you have abandoned your planet and its needs. So as you move forward, it is to think about the recourse of what you can do yourself that makes the difference to your life, to your world, and how you are treating nature. Nature will be your best friend. So by learning to work with energy, to tune in, to be more intuitive, trust like the animals, that when they sense there is a storm, that you will also sense it. This is going to be your internal compass, your navigation system that you are going to learn more about so that you can be guided. Many of you are too much in your heads. When you're working intuitively and with your psychic abilities, you're working with your sixth sense. You are working with knowing where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable, but you have learned to be more in your heads. This is more about being more in your heart center, grounding yourself, spending time on what you need to help your physical vessel through the journey. There will be more awareness of how you look at your health as you move forward. There will be more information coming to the surface from large organizations of health matters. It is for you to take into account your own ability to help yourself and to work with nature more in helping yourself. Your physical form, like an animal who does not feel well, like a dog that has an upset tummy, it will eat grass to bring up some bile and to clear it. We are saying you will be moving more to that side of looking at how nature will work with your physical form. That will be important as you move forward. Those of you who are becoming more intuitive and working with energy may feel more uncomfortable with individuals who are not so in tune. Many of you will decide and feel that where you are located at the moment, where you are housed, that you will make those changes to move. It will be the same with friends. There will be a divide as such. This is natural, this will take place, but over this year it will be how you decide to wish to live your life. You will be making those changes as much as you can to make that physical move, the locational change. It will be a time where whatever worked for you, as in your work, how you earn your money, that you will decide, some of you, that you are going to make changes. Some of you will be aware, as because of the energy is speeding up, that the quality of your life now, that you'll be putting that more forward than you've ever done before, because you will no longer wish to live the life that you are living where you are just paying for bills or just paying out money. There will be a better quality of life, but for those who are in tuned more will be aware that what it is that you need to satisfy your own heart. There has been a wake-up call on your planet for a number of years now, and because of this, many of you are moving with the energy of that flow. Many of you will feel those electrical storms, the energy of the full moon, as where we are at this present time, the energy, and many emotions will be coming to the surface. It is to clear the energy, and again we wish to state, by journaling you are communicating with your higher self and your guides. When you communicate with friends, you are taking on board also their own issues around the topic or the subject that you have brought up to them. So whatever information that you wish to share with those that maybe not as enlightened or are also on their journey, you are also tapping into their own experiences, which may not be of any purpose to you. So it is best that you journal and communicate more with your higher self. This is also a form of automatic writing. And as you are writing and writing down what is going on for you, then your higher self, you begin to build the communication and your team of guides. We would also state what may be helpful for many of you are the cards, the affirmation cards, or any cards that you choose that feels right for you, your angel cards, whatever cards, daily to reset your energy and to be aware of your intentions from the moment that you wake up. Many of you, when you wake up, we are aware of your intentions of, oh, another day, or oh, I have to do this, or how much work you have ahead of you, and not feeling so happy in yourselves. You already set in that trail of energy in front of you. You move in that direction. It's very difficult in the morning that if you set the intention already that you are fed up with the morning already, or things that you have to do and tasks, you set the energy in front of you and you move in that direction. The rest of the day doesn't feel so happy. We are aware. You are attracting more of that energy in front of you, like a snowball effect. So it is that if something comes into mind and you have a task ahead of you that you're feeling uncomfortable, or there is a lot on your plate and you are not feeling so happy because there is so much, you acknowledge it. That's fine. Maybe pull a card, one of your affirmation cards, or whatever it is that you have guidance with, and then straight away then you journal on the card. What is this card you're teaching for the day to show you what is coming to the surface? What is it for you to look at, to how to balance, to reset your energy? This energy forecast is slightly different from what we have done before, but we are aware of those who hear this information. We're offering guidance, because however you start your day, you are transmitting out to the world how you are feeling, and the universe is giving you more of. It's very similar that if you wake up and you set the intention of you will smile at the first person that you see, they smile back to you, and it's like a ripple effect of your continuation of smiling. It lifts your energy, and that's where you should be at this time, to look for those golden nuggets of energy that keeps your energy high. When they're an emotional time, so see yourself like you are surfing the energy. Ride out the wave of energy. You acknowledge it, and you then ride the wave of energy. You stay in your flow system. Sometimes it may feel like the salmon traveling upstream, but it is for you to be aware of your energy and how you are feeling. There are many changes occurring on your planet. And those of you who are intuitive and psychic and then listening to this, you'll be aware of this. Ask your guides, your universe, your higher self for those signs. You will need it as you move forward through this month of January, to see your symbols, to see your signs of connections. But this is about your belief. This is how much do you believe in it. And there will be times where it will be moments of trusting in the process. And sometimes you may feel isolated because of whatever is occurring in your life. But it's the belief that the universe is shifting something out, or shifting someone out, and preparing you to move into the lane of where you are about to travel. I love that. So as you can see, like when they're talking about the universe and sort of saying about how we're sending out information, they are connecting to it. It is a bit like they've been talking about this all day about the phone and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm thinking something and then it's on the phone. I haven't even said it. And I'm like, oh my God, it's there. So yeah, that's just what's going to be happening. And for those who are very intuitive and psychic, a lot of us are going to be feeling something, and it's going to be like a wave of information on the planet. So we're not going to be the only ones in our group or part of the classes or whatever. They're going to be loads of individuals across the whole planet that will be moving. So it's like almost like when our energy changes and shifts, we are shifting the energy on the planet. So we're helping the planet to tune in, to lift the frequency on the planet, which is fantastic. So the more work that we do on ourselves, we're helping the rest of the planet. So I love that. Thank you so much for that. I love it. They're also sharing something about on the planet as we move forward. There's going to be something like I think this is like the energy shift on the planet, as in the sense of either migraines or feeling queasy or feeling unwell. There's something that they're showing me, but I feel it's more like you know, like we're on a ship or a cruise line or something, shifts direction. Feels a bit like that. So a lot of you who may be like a bit of a hangover sort of thing, a lot of you who may be feeling this sensation, it's not something to be fearful of. It just feels as if, like they bring me to ears, it's like there's a balance, like the balance is shifting, it's changing. So energetically, if anyone is experiencing any of these migraines, obviously you're going to check that out medically, because I'm not medically trained, but what they're saying to me, it feels like a popping sensation or a balance. It's about balancing your energy, so shifting your energy. So be mindful of that, any of you that have had any physical experiences that are coming up, or the body is communicating with you right now, because the body is sort of lifting, saying, okay, I need to shift this out now, we need to move it, you know, I need to be in this direction. A lot of you may be feeling this when you're in certain locations, that wherever location used to feel right for you, home environments, work environments, your body is actually going to be communicating with you more. So the most of you that are in tuned, or those who are listening very psychic and tuned already, you're going to feel that uncomfortability, like walking into a shop or a department store, or you know, into a group of individuals that no longer resonate for you. You may be feeling this more, your physical body, because you're tuning in so much with your sensory self. Your physical body is going to be communicating that now. You're going to be feeling it more. Your body's just going to be going, right, yep, that really resonates for me. There are going to be those that are going to be living with people that may not think or feel similar to themselves, and their energy is very different. And the more that you're doing the work, that, you know, you've become very psychic, you're very in tune, medium, and everything else, you're going to be feeling into that energy. And if someone you're living with or working with, that you may feel into their energy that doesn't feel, resonates like a piano with keys, they just said, like in the tune, not playing the same tune, you're going to feel it more than ever before. But they are a lesson to yourself. It is a teaching. It is a way of, okay, what does this show me? What is it showing me right this now? It's not for you to be a therapist to them. It's actually by you to lead by example. So it's like, be the leader, take the lead, and do what you need to do for yourself, because then they will follow suit. They will see what you are doing and how you're doing it. Now, it's interesting because they also sort of said it's very much about the energy is quite sticky in your energy field. And for those who are, again, around those individuals who are quite negative, it sticks like static. You're going to feel that more because you are very intuitive and very psychic, and there is a natural medium there. You're going to feel that more. But what it means is then what you do is like being aware of, keep cleansing your own energy. So whenever you're feeling very uncomfortable around individuals, about, okay, have I picked this energy up from this individual? Is it my energy? Is it their energy? And saying to your guides or your higher self or whoever you work with, and going, right, if it's not my energy, I want it to disappear, I want it to get rid of it, because I don't need it, I need to focus on my energy. And it's going to be, it may be quite selfish at this time as we move forward. It's going to be really about observing ourselves. So it's about you looking at yourself and going, right, is this serving me? And again, it's going to sound selfish. Then you go, right, no, it's not serving me. It's like sticky tar being chucked at me, and it's holding me back, and I need to move forward. So it's about cleansing your energy. It's the salt baths, it is the crystals with the energy filtered in those crystals. It's about connecting with nature, going out and really dump loading everything into nature. If you think, thank you, they just said, it's a bit like when we put an electrical device and we plug it into the socket. We are connecting to the earth wire, we're connecting to the live wire, we're connecting to, and it's a bit like ourselves. If we don't discharge energy, we are going to blow a socket, and that might be what it's about. So it would be then to look at yourself and as what's going on, and what can you do to recharge yourself. And as I said, it is like the energy thinking. Also said about animals and pets, you know, when lots of people have cats and dogs and whatever it is, their feet are grounded, so they discharge energy for us. So patting and being with animals and stroking them and, you know, communicating with them is a great way of discharging, and they are here of service, so it doesn't harm them. They are always grounded and earthing themselves. It's about very earthing yourself right now. And they're bringing me angels with you as well, in particular, and talking about allowing your angels to wrap around you. So like a shield, their wings, And this will help a lot of other people that are going through something similar. If you're living with somebody that's in their head and maybe they're having a physical, mental, emotional breakdown, it is that they are discharging energy everywhere. There's like sparks coming from this big, and it's almost like they don't know how to ground themselves. So it's like bring in your angels, allow the wings to shield you from that, but also I'd say bring in the angels to shield them, to help them. So it's like, so they can discharge a little bit easier, because they don't know. He feels so overwhelmed that he's having difficulty in holding on to the emotions in his head. And so it just feels as if everything's spilling out, and it feels like sparks coming everywhere. I really feel the angels will help, because that's what they're showing me. So guardian angels coming in to help him and to assist you energetically this moment in time. That's what I'm picking up. That's what it feels like. You say that it's very hard to say to choose the positive, because at the time when you're going through, you get emotionally hijacked and you're going to focus on that. But it's not just about being positive. The idea is that what's come up for you, what is being shown. So the idea, when something comes to the surface, if there's an issue or something that's been coming up as an ongoing repeating pattern, is to look at it and go, okay, what is this showing me? So this is not positive psychology. This is about more about what's the energy, what's come up, what is this showing, what is it teaching me, what is it I need to learn from this? So look at it from that point of view, because there's always a lesson in the uncomfortability, because that's about the growth. Yes, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, thank you. So regarding realities of what we're saying about the universe, in the sense of what we're sending out, what we want in our lives. So if we want low taxes, and we're going, okay, in the sense of everything's going to work out okay, everything's going to be fine, I have the abundance of cash there, I have this abundance there, but yet your partner is going, oh my God, but we don't, and we've got this, and we're gonna have this big tax bill and whatever. And as we said, universe attracts like for like. So if he's then thinking, oh my God, we're gonna have a big tax bill, and you're thinking, no, the abundance and everything's gonna be okay, what happens? It is like you're living parallel lives, like the universe, the realities of how he's gonna see things, realities of you gonna see things. But that's everyday life anyway, because we're not the other person, and because we're living a different life and reality to them anyway, because we are living through the life of the lens of the world, of what we want to see and what we want to receive. So when we start doing the work on ourselves, and we realize that actually how you might see the world in a total different way, that you see this thing was green and he sees it as red, you can't change his red, the reality of what he sees. You can't do that. It's like he will just see what he needs to see, because all his experiences that he's gone through all through his life, in past lives too, and this life that he's living through, his life as a child and anything else, he's gonna see his reality. There's the psychology to that and the energy of that. So whatever he's, you might have two different people from two different walks of lives. If I think about, I have a different partner, his reality of his world, what he was brought up in, is very different from what I was brought up in. I wouldn't wish anyone to have gone through what I've gone through, and thank God he hasn't, but it balances me out. So there's a reason why we then end up having those partners that come into our life. So there's that, he's saying it might be like worried if it was about taxes or anything else. You have the other, but I get a very strong feeling that he's a bit of a rock, that in a way he's balancing it out for you. Someone just said, you can have two people that someone might be, and excuse me how I say it, off with the fairies, and like, yeah, everything's gonna be fine and the universe is gonna do this, but there's no evidence in this person's mind. It's more like practical. You have to get on and do the work. There's that as well. You've got to have a balance in the world that we live in, because we're living in the 3D reality. So we have to have somebody that not have to, but we may have somebody in our life that thinks slightly different from us, but that sort of balances us out, sort of thing. Because then there's the other extreme where someone sort of says, oh, I'm going to manifest this, I'm going to manifest this, and they're sitting on the sofa and they've not changed anything, and they're not doing any work to make any changes. It's not going to happen. You have to be in that energy place. You have to create your energy blueprint for that to happen. So with this individual, what you were saying about your partner, the way he thinks, you can't change his reality of how he's going to see the world, but you can continue going down your avenue of how you think and how you see the world, and lead by example. And then if he wishes to change or something happens, he will then follow suit with you. But they're sort of saying to me, sometimes you're going off course, and that makes sense, because if you're living with him and this is how he sees things, if anything, thank you, they said, then the lesson in this is to keep bringing you back to yourself and go, oh, there's something I need to learn about this for myself. This is something that's showing up for me. Like, why is it bothering me? By using the word positive, by the way that you might see it, it begins to be that tiny little snowball that begins to bring up all that energy. It becomes a giant snowball of energy that you're flowing with. You extend out more. It's like your auric energy fields extends out even more. Okay, so it's a bit like where, if we think of our skin as very porous, so is our energy fields. So the more that you do the work on yourself, you're expanding fully. You're going to attract more and more of it, a bit like static, or like the balloon that we rub against our hair and it attaches itself. It's like static. You'll bring it out, and that's quite good. That's a positive thing that goes out into the energy fields. Then when someone's feeling very negative or feeling depressed or the emotion in their head, their auric energy field is very small. It's like slimlined. It's not so huge. They're only attracting certain things around them. But when you're doing the work on yourself and you're looking at the golden nuggets in life and you're focusing on all the happy things that you're experiencing, and again, a technique of that is, filming things or taking pictures, maybe it's a sunset that you love, and reminding yourself on those days that if you're feeling a bit down and whatever, because reality's kicked in the sense of what's going on for you in your world at this moment, then by looking at that, those photographs or listening to music or anything to boost yourself, your energy field bounces back out again. So your energy field, when you're looking at energy as you are personally doing the work, because I know you are, then you're spreading your energy out. It will sort of overlap him, he'll be caught up in it at some point, and there'll be a shift in him, trust me. It's just that he hasn't had that awakening as such as what you have had. You've had this energy, spiritual awakening, whatever we want to call it, and so that's why you've expanded fully, and so that's why you're living life slightly different and things are attracting to you now. And this is the other thing, when you're in that energy high stream, that high energy flow, everything will come very quick. So manifesting will be so super fast. People will come in when you're thinking about them, you'll hear what you need to hear at any given time. It's a bit like what they were saying, a bit like the phone and, the TV, when we will speak out, we sort of say, well, I want to buy a new TV, or I want to buy a new car. Next minute, you've got an advert on your TV. It's the same as the universe, how it works. So all we have to do is do the maintenance on ourselves. Things will start shifting and changing, and you'll see it. You will observe. I can see the change there with him as well. And that energy hangover, yeah, I mean, I love that. And that's exactly what they're talking about, is that when we are shifting, there is this huge energy hangover that you might feel, and then then that you've done the work on yourself, because you're more susceptible to it from time to time. But it's just a shift. It is an energy shift. That's all. For those who are really plugged in, those who really tuned into the energy fields are going to find it quite the intensity of it can feel quite overwhelming, especially as you are having your own energy shifts and you are developing sort of that energy side of you. You're going to be accessing new opportunities, new growth. It's going to feel uncomfortable. There's such thing as growing pains, and this is what's going on at the moment. And the idea is that to allow yourself to flow with it. So the idea is that learning about grounding, protecting your energy, how you recharge, it's a bit like the extrovert, the introverts. How are you recharging with this energy? Shutting yourself off for a little while to give yourself a little bit of a breather space. It's going to be very important for you. So those out there in the external world, those who are very empathic, those who are just starting this journey and are going to be feeling the intensity too. Now, I know you personally have not just started this journey, but your energy has shifted. So you've upgraded, you've up-leveled your energy. And this is going to be for a lot of people. When you start upgrading, up-leveling your energy, it's going to feel like the emotional hangover. It's going to feel that, wow, this energy is moving very fast. So it's about grounding yourself. It's like you're digging our heels in, sort of, being aware of, like, in your mind, to visualize I'm digging my heels in, or to flow with the energy. It's almost like to surf the energy. And they said in the conversation a little while ago that they were saying that it might feel like being a salmon sort of swimming upstream against the stream at the moment. That's just like the reality of it at the moment. When you are changing your energy, this is like proof, evidence to you to see that you are shifting so fast. But they said just be mindful of your mind, as in your thoughts, when this is happening, because this is not a negative thing, and I hate using negative positive, but this is not a negative thing, but this is just how it feels like to be riding the wave of energy, because you are tuned in, you're really plugged into it now. So take time out, take breathers, you know, open your energy and close your energy. It's the whole idea about being able to physically feel the energy when you're opening up, and to close it down. You don't need to be in that stream 24/7, they said. A lot is tiring. It can be very exhausting. Our physical human vessel is a heavy, dense energy field of cells and everything else that's going on. And it can be overwhelming when we're connecting to source. It's a very light, fuzzy energy that, you know, rumbles around. I know when I'm working as a medium, I've got to get my energy very, very high. And because they don't have a heavy energy dense body, physical body, they come through, and for me to get a clearer reading, I have to be very physically high. It's why, you know, sometimes I get exhausted if I've done more than 5 in a day. I feel burnt out because their energy is coming through so fast, like these radio waves, these signals that are coming through, that I've got to keep myself really high to receive it. So that's why, you know, I shut down after each client, and then, you know, I clear my energy. You know, at a certain time of day, I go, right, I'm shut down now. I don't want to hear any information. I want to be Anne. I'm eating food. So it's as exciting and as addictive it is by tuning into energy fields, and, like, you know, working as a medium or whatever, or working psychically, we also have to have that reality where we go, right, I'm also a physical human being on this planet this time, and I need my energy. I need to keep recharging. For me, and I'm in my day, and I'm experiencing life, and things are, you know, I might be getting a download of information and stuff. I mean, literally, my office has got sticky notes everywhere. I take sticky notes, I stick in my back pocket, and when I get an information, I put it in, and they're like, oh, okay, fine, right, I'm going to write that down. And because I'm, you know, this is my job, I'm doing this and I love it, and it's like, this is part of my life. But yes, when I'm out and about, if I'm on the train, I get a download of information, I might write in the back of a book that I'm reading, or I voice note it. So I voice note the information on my phone. I use my phone and I voice note the information, the snippets. Then what I tend to do is then I sit down and I just, like, literally, like the trash can, it's not that it's trash, but I just pour it out. I go, right, okay, let's write down and journal. And journaling will literally, sometimes it will take me 10-15 minutes. It's the process of our nerve endings, our fingertips. It's the process of us actually writing. It activates something within the brain as well. It's almost like an aerial that is sending out that we're connecting to the universe in a different way. We're connecting to our higher self in a different way when we are writing. So, you know, I'm sorry, you just might not want to hear that, but I know through, they keep saying the old-fashioned way of writing it down, you know, to get past that, this information is just for you, not for anyone else. No one's going to look at it, but making time. So even if it's 10-15 minutes a day, at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, whatever it is, that seems to be important, that is part of this, you know, of connecting with the universe. It's a form of communication. There's no shortcut, I'm afraid. Okay, I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great question. Great observation. Yeah. Okay. These energy shifts okay, thank you. Because you are a physical, you have this physical vessel, and obviously you are a sensory being, so you're able to touch, to smell, to taste, everything else. You're going to feel when there's been changes. It's a bit like, you know, how our body reacts when we eat certain foods, whether we like it or we're allergic to it. Your body's responding to the foods, your environment, to those people around you, to clothing. That's going to be the thing that's going to be coming up as well. People will be looking at what they'll be wearing. The whole thing on the planet about plastics is going to be changing greatly. Really going to be looking at how people are going to make that individual connection with what they are wearing, whether it's the color, whether it's the material, whatever it is, there's going to be massive changes. And so the idea is that by listening to your physical form, because it's a sensory being, you know that there is a shift that's happening. Now, the thing is, they said, sometimes we go too much in our heads, and then we get caught up in the thought process of, is this a shift, or is there something that's going on, or should I be aware of this? Is this my physical world? Is this my emotional world? Or is this an energy shift? I don't know. It's all of the above. They said it's all the same thing. Now, you individually asking this question is funny, and I know this will apply to quite a few other people. There is a massive shift that's happening for you personally right now, and really coming from the heart center and gut feeling. So to tell that it's a real energy shift, it's like, what is your heart desire? It's that passion, where it is that you want to be. It's that gut feeling. So for you, there's this shift of energy and how you're feeling in your heart center that is also affecting your energy. And that is shifting things around you right now. Now, it's interesting about the timelines on the planet right now, and also for yourself individually. Timelines are going to be, thank you, like a patchwork crossing over each other. So there'll be, it won't be linear like how we imagine on planet Earth. It's going to be very different. So there's going to be a lot of external outside factors that are going to be affecting all of us at this particular time. And it really is like, I mean, again, they show me the chess set. It really is like playing a game of chess that we don't know. You know, we'll do our move. You know, remember a pawn or a rook or a king or a queen. We'll do our move by what we are aware of, you know, what's affecting us. But then before we know it, there's our move is there. We might move the space, and then a mirror image on this chess set, there's another move on the other side, and how then it affects us and how we move forward in things. There's going to be a lot of that on this planet right now. We might not be able to see it so much, especially if we're in our heads. Now, if we're working with our sensory self and we're very intuitive like yourself, you've just asked this question, if you keep going to your gut feeling, into your heart center, it will tell you which step to take. It will tell you what feels the best thing to do at any given time. This is for everyone. That if you are working with the energy of yourself, your intuitive self, you know when how you might be feeling. You know when you're having a rough day or a hard day or an emotional day. If you tune into that and you're aware of that and you self-soothe and know it's okay to feel like that, but what is it showing you, what's coming to the surface, you'll then be able to make that move forward. It is like they said, like when there's a tsunami, dogs, cats, animals know to move to another part of the island. You're going to sense that, you're going to feel it. But you individually, and those who are listening to this, you're having the energy shift. Life, thank you, they said, when life feels topsy-turvy or lots of things have been thrown at us, either we lose our job or a partner, a divorce or breakdown, a marriage, a child's been born, whatever, when we have those factors that happen in our 3D world as a human being, it's going to affect the individuals. It's meant to nudge you in a different direction. So all that is happening, all that has happened, how aware you might have been or how little you might have been aware of this, that you have been a major role or a major player in this, and it's meant to have, everything is meant to have changed and shifted in the direction it's meant to have shifted. But you personally are having those energy shifts, and how you can tell is it an energy shift where it's just like 3D reality, is that you've become very intuitive. You become aware of your heart center, and you know what your heart wants and needs now. It's not going to tolerate anything less. But there will be a pull, like there will be those emotions that will rise up in your 3D world as yourself, because you'll have an effect upon others around you. But you are going to have, they hate the word positive and negative, but the positive effect that you're going to have to others through what you do is really important. What you do now, your next step, is really going to be important, what you do and what you take. Just hold on in there. I mean, sometimes when we feel there's a storm brewing or there's a storm that we're in the thick of it, sometimes it's really hard to sort of see anything outside of the storm and like wondering when's it going to shift. But again, keep coming back and centering yourself. It's going to be really the most important thing right now, that knowing that everything is working out how it's meant to work out. The bigger plan for you is working out. That feeling of being sort of felt as if you're, you know, being catapulted out into the future, or things that are happening at high speed, is like literally, it's because your energy is matching up with your future self. So it's always about your future self energy, and that catapult is like, whoa, you're there before you know it. So with that energy, that shift, what's going on for you, and it can feel unsettling, uncomfortable, is because you've been doing the work on yourself. So it's about your thought process, it's about how you've been feeling about things, and about the change you want to happen and what you want to come. So now your future self is, you know, your future self, your higher self is pulling you there. So that magnetic sort of pull, it might feel very uncomfortable, it's actually pulling you to where you need to go. So it can feel that catapulting and uncomfortability, and it might be part of you going, I don't know if I'm ready, or I don't know if I want change. But your energy is matching up to where it was going to be in the future. So it's just catapulting you, bringing you forward. It's magnetically drawing you in, however uncomfortable it might feel. It's interesting what you're saying, because it is about the balance of yourself. Anybody that's going through change, it can feel really, really uncomfortable. And it's the belief in, well, is this getting me to where I need to go to? Is it, you know, or it's going to go wrong again or whatever. And I had a couple of clients today, and this came up for 3 of the clients, similar things. So you're right in what you said about, you know, as a collective, those who are very in tune are going to be feeling very similar at the moment to this information they're receiving, the transmission they received today. But you're going to feel like it's talking to you individually, because this is en masse. This is for the collective information, that you're going to have moments where you're going to feel very uncomfortable, where you're going to feel that you're moving forward, and then you get to that and you go, right, okay, it's all jolly, it's all happy, and then something, you know, you feel like you're, you know, it's too much, it's too heavy, because it feels like there's another teaching, or there's something else that's come up, or you trip up over something, you go, oh my god, and then, you know, gone down the, you know, the wrong avenue again. But it's not that. What it is that salmon are swimming upstream. The upstream is the energy of the other people that live on the planet. The upstream is the energy of others who don't believe in energy, or the belief of, like, I don't know, whether it's angels or source or whatever, that's the upstream. So being the salmon is literally those connected to source that are trying to make their way through this and go through this. Now, we've been blessed in a sense, now the way they just said this, you've been blessed in a sense with this brain that remembers everything, and to keep you safe, because that's what the brain's there for, to keep you safe and all the experiences. But what happens is the brain is sort of triggered. It's like on a tripwire. Sometimes something, an experience will happen, it'll go, oh, but do you remember that time when you did it? It's a bit like, I was saying to somebody today, it's like driving a car, a physical car, that, you know, you learn to, like, well, last time I went through the lights, I had a prang on my car knocked into me, so I'll slow down now and I won't go through the green light or the red light or whatever it is. You know, I know how to park my car, I'm going to park it there from experience. And it's literally like, so by remembering those experiences, as in saying, oh, when I parked there before, it was under that tree, those birds pooed all over my car, I'm not going to do that again. It's the same thing. Our mind is reminding us of past experiences. So it says, right, we mustn't do that again. Now, when it comes to the emotional stuff that you're living through, and the human world that you're living in, it's going to say, right, okay, oh, that's very similar to that experience, so I don't want to experience that again, so I'm not going to do it. Or you get fearful of going, right, that might happen next time, so you don't even go down that avenue. So the idea is to get a balance. There's a harmony in this. Now, also what they've just said to me, that when you build up that connection with your guides and your higher self, you check in with your guides, you check in with your higher self before you take that route, before you do anything. You're going, okay, a bit like when we say, hey Siri or Alexis or whatever, we go, hey guides, and my computer's just doing it right now. Oh god,
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
Go away. Let me do
okay.
So it's the same thing, but we'll be saying, hey universe, hey guides, give me a sign. That's why we ask. That's why we reach out, is that we ask for those signs. And so when we forget to ask for those signs, what happens is we feel we're alone. We feel we're isolated, and we feel it's so much more difficult than it really is. By the journaling, it's helping you to connect to your higher self. It's helping you to connect to your guides who've been with you many lifetimes, that are just waiting for you to activate them. So the idea is, when things are really hard, sit with yourself, sit there and then tune in and say, hey, I'm not going to say it because my computer's going to go off again. You say, hey guides, or hey whatever. I always say, hey Sakurai, have you got a moment? Straight in. And they'll help me, they'll guide me. And I say, oh, this has just happened, why has it just happened? Now the reason why they're saying about connecting to guides and your higher self, or either or whatever, is because they know you. They know your experiences, they know what you've been through, they know your future self. When you are connecting to others, and thank you, they said, humans have a habit of sharing, oversharing with so many individuals, saying this is what's happening to me. They speak to their friends, but sometimes those friends have a different experience from them. So they're giving you their information from their own experience, and you are different from them. So when you're feeling isolated and there's a lot that's coming up, connect back to your guides, because your guides know you inside and out. They know your soul. They've been with you in many lifetimes. So it's about building up that communication. So when you're thinking it's a really rough time, ask, reach out for those signs, those symbols, wait to hear from them or see something from them, and the connection will be very different.